Spending $250K on a Stanford MBA degree, is it worth it? Hello， 大家好，我是思然，欢迎来到我的频道。今天我们将讨论一下我在斯坦福商学院的经历。我请到了我在商学院的两位好朋友 Lucia and Michelle.
Hi, I'm Lucia. I'm Chinese American. I went to undergrad at Yale on the East Coast, where I studied chemistry, and then I went into finance for a few years, and then was at a neuroscience biotech startup. Now that we've graduated about 2 weeks ago, I've been working on my own startup in the mental health space.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. I am also these wonderful people's roommates. I actually grew up in Canada. I went to university in Minnesota and then I stayed there and I worked in consulting at Accenture.
About me, I went to college in Beijing University and worked in consulting with McKinsey in both New York and Beijing. Also went to UCLA for a summer film producing program, and also worked in a media tech company in the last summer. So today our topic is gonna be a very interesting one. Spending $250K on a Stanford MBA degree, is it worth it?
For me, my answer is ask me in 10 years and I can tell you if it's worth it. I feel like right now, as we're graduating, haven't started my job yet again, and I'm feeling like just the crunch of looking at my bank account and realizing, yeah, I need a job. So I feel like with business school, it's different than undergrad, where I feel like it's something that pays off more so in the future. So you start to realize the real value is not necessarily what you learn here in the classes themselves, but more the network that you're buying into, the future job prospects, getting the promotion.
So if you have to give them an answer today, what would you answer?
I would say yes, because it was super fun.
What about you, Lucia?
Ooh,
What's your answer?
Yeah, I think it's really hard to say. I think for one, we'll never know the counterfactual of had we not gone to business school. I do think in the long run it does seem like it's going to be worth it, and even now I would say it's worth it. If you think about $250K over, we're going to be working for at least 25 more years. That's $10K a year amortized. So I think it's definitely worth it from that perspective. But like Michelle said, I feel like a lot of it is the intangible. It's not just that dollar difference, but all the friends we've made and the self-exploration and introspection that has made it worth it.
Yeah, totally. Because I know you're working on your startup now. So my specific question would be, if it was not the GSB, would you have started your own company?
No, I definitely wouldn't have. Yeah. I met my co-founder, who's not at the GSB, but at the medical school. And we met in a class that was cross-listed between the GSB and the medical school. And had I not been here, definitely wouldn't have met him, and we definitely wouldn't have realized that we wanted to work together.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely really a life-changing experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Totally. I feel like for me, GSB is also life-changing in its own way. I feel like just through a lot of classes, GSB is really famous for touchy-feely, art of self-coaching. I feel like I'm definitely much more in touch with my own emotions, and also feel like a lot of my feelings, a lot of my thoughts are so valid. I should totally own them and say whatever feels true to me. It's priceless in its own way.
Yeah.
So I think to me, in this sense, it's really, really valuable.
Yeah.
And also another part to me is about the international exposure, because I went to college in China. I didn't have the college experience here in the States, so I feel like going to a school abroad is also really fascinating experience, because it really broadened my horizons. I got to meet classmates from over 60 countries in the world, right? And also traveled to so many different places. I led the Indonesia and South Africa trips. That's a really fascinating experience.
I have found career support services really great. For instance, I've been meeting with an advisor, Grace. I feel like
I love her.
She's great. And I just talked with her yesterday, and she was giving me some advice on like negotiating an offer.
Wow.
And I felt like that was really tactical advice.
And on my end, I feel like it's already been really helpful, like this new sort of network we have with each other. Like we have a WhatsApp with all the people in our class who founded companies, and there's like 40 of us, which I guess is like 10% of the class.
Yeah.
People who are pursuing a startup full time. And so they're just questions of like, how do I find office space in San Francisco? Or how much equity should I give my advisor? Or what's your top tip for raising a seed round? And just like there's daily activity between everyone, and that's just been really, really helpful.
Do you think you learn about entrepreneurship at Stanford? Because I think that's what Stanford is like known for.
Yeah, Stanford does have classes specifically to launch businesses, like the one that you did with
I did,
the dating
yeah.
app startup. And I'm in Y Combinator right now, and one of the other companies that's GSB founded went through all those GSB programs. So they did Lead Launchpad and Startup Garage and all of these other like GSB specific programs, and that really set them up for success.
Got it.
Yeah. I feel like I was almost the opposite, where like I came from a very traditional, like same as you, like consulting background, and I just like I honestly didn't even know what a term sheet was like in VC. And so I took like 2 VC classes and a bunch of like from the same entrepreneurship classes that you took, and like I actually feel like that was one sort of like category of stuff that I actually really learned. Like VC, like entrepreneurship, just like the founders that we bring in. I feel like I just learned so much.
Right.
Or inspired.
Like all of our classes are just so startup centric. It just doesn't seem to be the case anywhere else.
I remember my education class the most. When all the students like profile photos show up on the slides, the 2 founders cried. I was like, whoa,
That's so cute.
I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. But at that time, I was like, what is going on? Like, why do they cry? And they just started to share like really vulnerable stories, like challenging moments they went through when they like founded their company, because they feel like education is like so much responsibility. Those kids really put their future in your hands.
We had both. There was a co-founder, and basically they're both quite open about their conflict early on. Their founder, one of them just like openly talked about, he was like, I have bipolar disorder, and that was what caused all this, and like I'm at fault, and I see a therapist twice a week, and like this is, and basically the questions afterwards, they all were like prefaced with basically like, first, like, thank you so much for sharing, like I've struggled with similar things too, like this means the world to me, like and they asked the question. So I think like it's I would completely agree with you with just like the vulnerability of like entrepreneurs, like you just don't get that.
Here's a wrap for our first video about whether it's worth it to spend $250K on a Stanford GSB degree. I hope our experience is helpful. I believe you also have your own answer. Comment in the comment box down below, and also remember to subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video. Bye!